Alabama defensive coordinator Kane Wommack had a lot to say about the Tide's defense, including updates on injuries, where key players are going to fit in, and a lot more. Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome into Way Offsides. It's Way with 4 A's, never 3, never 5. Three's not enough, five's too many, four's just right, baby. Just like in the word Alabama, we do everything everybody else does. We just do it a little different around here. Thanks for joining in. Before we get started, if you're new here and you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You do that, it helps us to keep bringing you content. We talk about all sorts of stuff when it comes to Alabama, the SEC, and college football as a whole. Just put out a short about the college football playoff and how they're going to be weighing criteria this year. Very interesting stuff. But really the big topic of the day that we kind of found ourselves just talking about randomly is Alabama's 2025 defense, second year under Kane Wommack. The expectation, we talk about expectations a lot. The expectations for this defense are absolutely ridiculous, especially on that secondary. We've heard some things coming out of camp, good things. We've heard some things that are kind of like, man, when it comes to the pass rush, you've got injured linebackers, tons of stuff that people are curious about. Well, we got a lot of answers today from the horse's mouth, the horse being Alabama defensive coordinator Kane Wommack. Now, I'm going to just pretty much collectively give you all the information. You can find this just about anywhere, Bama 247. We're going to be reading directly from Alex Scarborough, who published this article. We're going to talk about basically what all Kane Wommack said today. Now, one big topic coming out of fall has been Dijon Lee, the freshman corner. This dude looks like a 4-year starter. It's ridiculous. He is a freak of nature. If you haven't seen him yet, it's kind of weird and humbling, honestly, because he really is and really does look like he's been playing D1 football for a couple of years. Kane Wommack was asked about him, and he basically said that he thinks that Dijon's had a fantastic camp. Damani Jackson is coming back from the offseason, so that will probably limit somebody like Dijon Lee playing, but it's going to be very hard to keep this kid off the field in some capacity. This is me saying this, not Kane Wommack. He says he's done a really nice job. This is about Damani Jackson, but it's allowed Dijon in the spring, summer, and fall camp to get a ton of reps and with the ones. And so the two very experienced corners that we have on this roster, we feel like Dijon can go right in. Yes, I don't see why not. Just looking at the kid, he passes the eye test. However, he's a young freshman, and Coach Linguist has done an amazing job with that secondary. This is going to be the strength of this team, but there's so much talent. I have zero issue with Dijon Lee biding his time and starting next season or whenever. Bama's going to lose a few of these guys to the draft. So Dijon Lee, as exciting as he is, and I do think, again, I think it's going to be hard to keep him off the field. I just feel like if you don't need to play the true freshman, then you don't. If he can keep him happy and not have to be worried about him transferring out if he doesn't play, then don't play him, right? Xavier Brown playing Husky. He said, I think there's times, right? There's a time and place to get your best cover people on the field. So certainly, I don't know from a practice standpoint what you saw, whether we were just kind of working a guy or not. But we try to get certain coverage aspects and all of those things that we're going to try to explore as best we can. I don't know how soon we'll get to them in the season. You know what I mean? But certainly there's something that we want to be mindful of, and if we're ready to do that. That's all I'm talking about, Xavier Brown playing the Husky position. What's really cool, and a lot of other people have talked about this, is just because you're seeing somebody play a position right now in fall camp or practice, or even with the ones and twos, especially in the secondary, it doesn't mean that that's where they're going to play in a game. I think that Kane Wommack is trying a lot of different things out. He's got a ton of versatile guys. We did a video on Cam Calhoun earlier today. That, and that's kind of the thing with Xavier Brown here. Now, we all know how good Xavier Brown is. We all know what the expectation is for him. So, seeing him play at that Husky position is potential. It's there, but it's really just Kane Wommack saying that they're kind of just trying some things out. Jeremiah Beeman, he says from where he was as a freshman at the beginning of last year to the role that he played in the bowl game, he took a huge stride. In the spring, he's done a really good job in fall camp, and he's consistent. That's important because I think things, especially along Alabama's defensive line, in towards the end of last year, they became inconsistent, but there were some pops. Jeremiah Beeman was one of those. James Smith, who we'll talk about in a minute, was another. And obviously, he wants a guy like Beeman to wreak havoc. He says, he's consistent doing his job at a high level. The challenge of those interior D linemen is always creating production, wreaking havoc in the backfield. And he thinks that Beeman has taken the steps to do that. Cam Calhoun, he's done a really nice job. Like I said, we did a video about him earlier. He's doing both things for us right now. He is playing at the nickel position and the corner position. Did a video about him at the nickel and how he could be a Minkah Fitzpatrick-esque type player. Not saying he's going to be Minkah Fitzpatrick. I'm saying that he has some of the qualities that Minkah had when he was at Alabama and could fit into that role nicely. And Kane Wommack seems to agree. I think Cam Calhoun is going to be one of the steals of the transfer portal for Alabama coming out of Utah. And Wommack is very, very high on him. He did talk about James Smith doing a really nice job. He's been dinged up there for a couple of days, but they got him back. I think he started back at practice yesterday. And he's hitting all the markers that he needs to hit. They got him back on the field the other day, and he looks fresh legs. He's such a havoc-style player. He can create and generate a lot of havoc in the backfield, which is something I'm excited about and how we're going to utilize him in that role. I did a video on James Smith a few weeks ago, earlier in the summer. James Smith really started to pop towards the end of last year. He had a big game in that Michigan game in the loss Alabama took. James Smith was a very big bright spot in that game, and it's got a lot of people excited to see him this year. So you got guys like him and Beeman who Kane Wommack is talking about wreaking havoc, and they're really kind of popping. I think that's going to definitely bode well for Alabama's defensive line in stopping the run and even rushing the passer. Kelby Collins as well is an addition from the transfer portal that Alabama brought in from Florida. Collins was talked about as well by Kane Wommack. Said he's doing a nice job just continuing to work and put himself in position. He's another one that just from a consistency piece, he's got to continue to raise the standard day in and day out of his level of consistent execution, but he's trying, he's working, and I think he's in position, you know what I mean, to kind of fight and battle there. Collins is going to see the field in some capacity. Obviously, Kane Wommack wants to see more consistent play out of him. I'm big on Kelby Collins. He was one of the ones that really excited me coming out of Florida. I live in Florida, so I'm kind of exposed to a lot of Florida football. And Kelby Collins was definitely a bright spot for their defense last year. And so I think that he will be a depth piece, a rotational piece. We had Clint Lamb on a few weeks ago, probably 2 months ago at this point, and I asked him about Kelby Collins, and he kind of agreed with me there that Kelby Collins will kind of be a rotational piece on that defensive line, which I expect Kane Wommack to utilize a lot and try to keep those guys fresh. And so, but he wants to see him execute more consistently. I would imagine that's probably going to be the case with a lot of guys. So he did also talk about Deontay Lawson. Now, Deontay Lawson, if you guys know, ACL coming back is a big question mark for a lot of Alabama fans who are kind of skeptical about his ability to get in there and lead this defense. I have zero skepticism about it. I think Deontay Lawson is a perfect Nick Saban style era throwback linebacker, and he's going to do great things in this defense this year. Kane Wommack said to me he looks a little bit more like the 2023 Deontay Lawson from a weight standpoint. I don't know if he got too heavy last season necessarily. He carried a lot of bulk on and moved really well, but obviously from an injury standpoint, he had to come back from that, and his body is just in a position to where he's really moving fast. He looks good. He's playing with great anticipation. His level of leadership has taken to another level. We've talked about this a lot. Guys like Deontay Lawson, Ty Simpson, Jam Miller, the leadership on this team, the accountability and discipline is there. Those are Nick Saban era guys who are going to pass that kind of standard down to this next level of Kalen DeBoer player. And I think that's essential. Like I say all the time, Kalen Alabama can be Kalen DeBoer's Alabama and continue to succeed with Nick Saban's standard. And those three guys right there that we named, as well as guys like Tim Keenan, will be the ones that influence that and the future of Alabama and Nick Saban's standard carrying on. I mean, he's playing his best football right now, which is pretty impressive to say 8-9 months ago, coming off of a leg injury. So really impressed with him and proud of him. Playing his best football right now is scary to hear about Deontay Lawson. He got covered up a lot last year because of Jihad Campbell being so damn good. But Deontay Lawson was somebody who I'm really excited and felt really comfortable coming into this season. Again, there's always that big question mark when you come off of something like an ACL. But Kane Wommack, I mean, just listening to the DC say that, he's not just hyping him up. To say he's playing his best football right now is that's saying something, man. That's absolutely saying something. So that's everything Kane Wommack had to say today about the defense. What was the most telling thing to you? Great job by Alex Scarborough over there at Bama 247 with that write-up. Tell me what you think is the most stand-outish piece of information that you just got from that today. Tell me in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a big Roll Tide as always. Say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.